Maybe that's a Norma question. Norma, was Brooks presenting today?
He was supposed to call in. He was supposed to call in. He did have the information.
Okay, we'll just move to Hugh Huber, Emergency Operations Center.
Yes, sir. Hello, City Council, City Manager, Mayor.
Todd?
Good to be with y'all this evening. I'm on Philip's computer. We are here still at the EOC down here on South Dixie. I don't know, Debbie, did we have any of those pictures available?
Yes, give me just a second. Let me pull them up.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. So I've tried to send some pictures to kind of give y'all a picture's worth 1,000 words. Try to give y'all kind of some of the things that are going on here at the EOC. We have incident command set up.
The legal staff has prepared a proposed annexation service plan, and this is in accordance with state law requirements. And in addition to the annexation, the applicant has requested an original zoning of Retail 1. This requested zoning is compatible with adjacent land uses. It's compatible with a property that's adjacent to Faudree Road, and it's not contrary to the city's comprehensive master plan. The Planning and Zoning Commission did give unanimous approval to this request. The planning staff, however, did meet with representatives of the applicant and discussed some development options that would minimize any impact to adjacent residential development. And in order to minimize this impact, the planning staff does recommend adoption of a planned development Retail 1 zoning with adoption of the following land uses. That the land use would be limited to what's allowed in Retail 1. Signage would meet zoning ordinance requirements. The landscaping would meet zoning ordinance requirements with an additional landscaping and screening trees adjacent to the rear property line and residential development. And also there would be site plan approval prior to development of the property. And Mayor and Council will be happy to answer any questions.
Or for anyone who would like to comment on this agenda item. If you're online, if you would state your name. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Brindley.
Thanks, Mayor.
Next, we move to ordinance. Consider establishing
4th Street between 338 east to the city limits, and that's proposed at the existing 35 miles an hour that we annexed the road into. The next speed limit is on Arroyo Drive. Arroyo has recently been completed east from Loop 338 to Billy Hex. We're proposing a speed limit of 40 miles an hour there. Is reduced speed school zones. The first for Lamar Elementary. That school zone will be on Letty Lee Avenue. The next zone is for First Baptist Church. That school zone is going to be on 7th Street. And the next zone is for St. Mary's. All these traffic ordinances is for prohibitive parking, and it's primarily concerning Lexington Avenue and had a request for a four-way stop at Fifth Street, which I implemented. They're also requesting.
Did we lose him? Al? Evan, we can't hear Al.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay.
No, like the last.
Have Helen here now.
Okay, where did you lose me at? Did I?
On speed limits.
Speed limits, okay. Okay, so what we are proposing is for speed limit for Trunk Street. We recently annexed that roadway, and the existing speed limit is 35 miles an hour, so that's what the proposal is. The next speed limit is for Arroyo Road. That was recently completed from now between Loop 338 and Billy Hex. The proposed speed limit is 40 miles an hour. The next component to this traffic ordinances are school zones. The first one being for Lamar Elementary. That school zone will be on Letty Lee Avenue. The next school zone is proposed for First Baptist Church, and that school zone will be on 7th Street. And the final reduced speed school zone will be for St. Mary's School on 18th Street. The last component of all these traffic ordinances is prohibitive parking. ORMC recently requested an all-way stop at 5th and Muskingum, which I granted and installed. And then they're also requesting another on-street crosswalk. So what all these prohibitive parking measures are is to increase the sight distance for that new crosswalk. And that's what all the traffic items are in this agenda item. And I can answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions from council? Okay. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, under resolution, consider adoption of the revised master thoroughfare plan. Mr. Feldman.
This agenda item is to make changes to the existing master thoroughfare plan. The master thoroughfare plan is designed to be a living document, so it will require changes and upgrades. And what the 5 changes that we're suggesting at this point is 5 different roadways. 4 of them is basically a downgrade in classification from basically a 7-lane roadway to a 5-lane roadway. The last roadway is actually an upgrade of the classification, but that's because the roadway is built at a larger roadway cross-section than was originally anticipated, and there's no future widening for that roadway. So that's what this agenda item is just to address 5 roadways after we recently completed the transportation master plan and recognizing that all the pavement maintenance that the city is required to do, that's the primary focus of downgrading some of these roadway classifications to essentially make less pavement responsibilities for us. And I can answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions from council?
I do. Hal, I guess the downgrade on those, it certainly would save us on the paving, but that was after the studies and things that had been done in terms of traffic, that this isn't going to create bottlenecks and create problems by going from 7 lanes to 5?
No, ma'am. And that's a good question. But A good example is most of these downgrades have roadways adjacent to them that have higher classifications and can handle traffic. Where if we were to upgrade or reconstruct these roadways from a 5-lane, which they are now, to a 7-lane, it'd be similar to what we're experiencing with the University Boulevard construction. It would be a major right-of-way taking issue.
Okay. Other questions?
Mayor,
I hear somebody.
yes, Mayor, it's Michael. The last time we talked about this, I think it was Ms. Dean that pointed out that they weren't here when the council adopted the master thoroughfare plan.
Right.
We will ask Hal and public works staff rather, to come back with a presentation on the master thoroughfare plan. That way the rest of the council can get a good understanding of what the plan entails. So we'll probably be doing that at a future briefing session. Work session.
Thank you, Michael. That was still my same question. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Other questions? Okay. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please
Well,
say aye.
wait a minute.
Yes.
So are we going to vote on this before we do what Michael has just said? You know, they were going to come back and go through the master thoroughfare plan. 4 of us have never seen that. I mean, I'm just
That's
wondering
totally up.
if it's tabled.
Okay, we have a motion that's been made, so we'll need to resolve that. Is this something that council would like to hold off until we see the entire document, or it's up to council?
Would there be any problem with us holding off, Hal, on your side of it?
No, there's no deadline that we are trying to meet or anything, so a delay is no issue at all.
Of course, we don't know how long that delay will be.
Well, Deidre, I think we can have a presentation for you at the next work session.
Just a virtual one, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
That'll work.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, if you guys want to table this, we can certainly bring it back after we've presented the rest of the council the plan, and then bring this back at the following council meeting for a vote.
I withdraw my motion.
Okay, the motion has been withdrawn. Do we have a new motion?
I move we table this until further information.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The item is tabled. Moving to miscellaneous. Are there any appointments to the boards, Ms. Grimaldo? Okay. And are there any? Go ahead and scroll up. Okay, are there any citizens' comments on non-agenda items?
No, sir, no, please.
Okay.
Mayor,
I will
we have an
entertain-
added item, number
Okay.
5.
Okay, it's not on this one.
It's an emergency. It's on the emergency.
Is that emergency? Yes.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and read it, Natasha?
It's, okay. Approval of ODC funds to reimburse West Textile for expenses related to materials needed for the manufacturing of items related to COVID-19.
Okay, who's going to present it? Would it be Wesley?
Yes. Wes, are you on?
I am on. Can y'all hear me?
The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much for your time tonight. I've enjoyed the meeting and the updates on everything. I just wanted to let you know that the ODC did meet last week after the work session from the council and did approve this item for reimbursement of expenses for clear polycarbonate, which is related to intubation protection chambers for first responders and for people on the front line doing some of the testing and some of the intubations for COVID-19. The expenses were $48,814.76. They did approve that as a reimbursement to West Tech Steel. I provided the invoices to the city legal and I think to others there at the city, and I know that they're at least in the process of that. They did vote to unanimously approve that expense, and as we discussed last week, we wanted to be able to do things and be nimble, but they can meet and then follow that up with your meeting. So it is what we considered an emergency posting to your meeting, and I appreciate your support on this. And these manufacturers are making those. I believe they've got a lot of those made. They were donating the assembly and the labor to do that, and then also providing those to the hospitals at no charge.
Wes,
Other questions?
Wes, this is Peggy. Did we not need the 60? Is it just 48 now?
Yes, ma'am. It was up to 60 when Mark Merritt at West Tech Steel and I originally talked about it. So we decided to do actual invoice reimbursement. So I'm not understanding that there's a need for 60. This is the number right now. Now that could change, but as we decided, we can meet again for this particular type of thing and get back to you guys as quickly as possible as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
I move the approval of the reimbursement.
Okay, motion. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Wes.
Thank you all very much.
Item 6 is adjourned, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so moved.
Nobody, then everybody. Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are now adjourned, and thank you, staff, for everything getting this ready.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.